Hi guys, what's up? Welcome to another Elliott Waves on Cryptos video. In today's session, we're going to have a quick look to two assets that one of which we haven't looked for a while, and the other one we haven't actually analyzed at all over these span of the 3 months or 4 months, how long that been since I've been running my channel. Do not forget that if you turn notifications on and you subscribe as well, you can participate in this weekly vote. Not weekly, actually, it's every time, to be fair. 2-3 times a week, as often as I do the videos, you get to participate on the poll and you vote out of the selections, of course, that I choose, which coins to analyze using Elliott Waves. Now, we've seen another dip in the markets recently, overnight, following some news that apparently Tesla has sold some of their BTC. If you remember, a few days back, we had 20,000 Bitcoins moved to the exchanges, and there was another big sale as well involved. Everybody thought that's Tesla. Then rumors came out today. Apparently, Musk says that Tesla did not sell their coins yet. But we don't know if that's the case or not. In either case, we don't really care. What we care about is that we've already been seeing these signs on the charts, and I've already called for these corrections in the past. I don't think the bull run is done. No, we're not nearly done. I think we've got a few months ahead to still go, but obviously we cannot expect that to be a straight line up. Okay, so buckle up, and if you're holding, keep holding. Not investment advice. If you're trading, just relax, take a step back, let the market settle a bit, and then you can find more opportunities. Whatever the case is, I'm here to analyze these two markets for you, ALGO and vechain. I'm going to start with ALGO. None of this, as I said before, is investment advice. So let's go quickly to the charts and see what I have actually, what patterns I've identified for you. So back to the charts, guys, and as I said before, we start with ALGO. I'm gonna go obviously a little bit further out because I think this is the first time we have a quick look on ALGO. So I need to go a bit further out. So from the day we've got here on Binance against Tether, we've had, this is probably the ICO price, right? We reached 3.5 or so, and since then there has been a decline. Now here's what I'm looking, guys. Because the structure looks a little bit corrective, okay, to be fair, this looks impulsive to the downside, and this looks corrective so far to the upside. Okay, now the fact that we didn't cross below 1 is good because it allows us to, at least for now, take this as an impulse move to the upside, which means that we've done wave 1 and 2, and perhaps also wave 3. I'll explain why I think wave 3 is done, and then why we can expect wave 4 to go a little bit lower, and where we can expect wave 5 to end. Since this is impulse to the downside, corrective to the downside, we can get another impulse here. I mean, it could be a case where this is ABC, and then this is ideally what we will want, right? Impulse down and impulse. I will call this for now an ABC. Okay, that doesn't mean that we're not gonna there's no chances to head up. What it means is that let's get to A first, the previous high at 3.5, and from there we can understand whether we're going to move higher or not. Okay, there's going to be more signals coming into the markets. Now, channel first, wave 1 and 2 all the way from the low. That brings us to having done wave 3 here with a false break. Okay, that's one of the reasons I think wave 3 is done. The other reason is that usually wave 3 is the one that has high volumes. Okay, despite the fact that we still have had a very high volume here, this is only one candle. Okay, contrary to this. So false break for wave 3, and we corrected. Are we going to move lower or not? I've also drawn up another channel, but I'm going to go closer to show you that. Before I do that though, I want to show you the level to the upside. You know, as always, we take wave 1 all the way up to 3, and we stop to 3. Since I don't think we still have wave 4 in. Okay, that brings us to 38.2 around the 250. 61.8, 2.92, and then if we take the extensions of those, we go to 4.25 or 4.66. But before that, we've got this very big boy over here, the 3.5. Okay, and why I say big boy? Because obviously, if this is going to be a correction, it's very likely to meet resistance here and then start moving lower. Okay. Otherwise, it could just be a simple correction. Now, it's very possible that in case we stop wave 5 earlier and start correcting, that is going to be 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so even before we get to 3.5, actually, to be fair, I think if we stop wave 1 around here, rather than go all the way up to the previous high, there is better chances that we'll correct and we'll continue higher. Okay, currently, we're looking at these levels for now, okay, 2.54 and 2.92. Until we get there, there is nothing else to think about for the upside. Now, before we get there, and should we get there, first, in my opinion, we have to come a little bit lower. And why do we have to come a little bit lower? Now, let me go down on the 4-hour chart. First of all, let's look at the correction we did over here, 61.8, right? Second, we go up to 3, and we look for what? We look for the 38.2. This is an amazing respected relationship, guys. The guideline of equality. When is this alternation? Sorry. 2 is sharp, yeah, and deep. 4 is sideways and shallow. So the 61 equals to the 38. These two make 100%. Okay, so that's one of the reasons. The other reason is that we've drawn our Fibonacci, the cycle wave, the base channel over here, and we did get a false break here, and at the same time, okay, we still, maybe on the daily chart we did, let me check. Actually, we didn't as well. Okay, that's an actual good surprise. Makes us a bit more bullish than I thought we would be. But anyway, there is no signal on the RSI. Perhaps there is a signal on the MACD, but you can go ahead and check that for yourself. So 3, I think, is done. Purely because it really fits the structure to do a 38 over here correction, and because it fits this structure, because we've got 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, and 5. That's an extended 5 internally, and because so far I haven't seen an impulse, and we didn't get a fresh low after this. Okay, which means what? This, because it does not look corrective. Okay, it means that there is likelihood that this sideways market could continue, unless if this is our low, which means it's going to be truncated. Yeah, and I'm not sure I would like that to be truncated, because this doesn't really look like, okay, we could say it's an ABC, like a normal flat, because you've got ABC here. You've got the correction in a triangle wave in X, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I am more keen to see that moving a little bit further down to do a fresh low in order to start considering buying opportunities, simply because just by looking at the channel, we need to get to the previous 4. Okay, and that 4 should ideally be down here. However, because we had an extended 3 and a false break above that level, what I did, I used waves 1 and 3 and went down to 2 in order to get an accelerating 4. Okay, because there's 2 different types of channels here. The base channel, we use 1, 2, and the beginning of 2 to find 4. Or the accelerating one is when we use 1, 3, and 2 to find the base. Okay, let me delete all those levels quickly. So here's what I'm looking over here, and we are now looking in the a little bit closer to that chart, right, guys? After this wave 3 up here, we've had a correction in an ABC pattern, and then we've had another A, that is a running flat in B, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and ending diagonal in wave C, that is the A of a triangle. The B, the C, the D, and the E is overthrow. Okay, you can check that for yourself, what exactly is an overthrow. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 C, and we've got 1, and it looks like to me that we've had 2 as well. And looking likely we're gonna start doing 1 and 2, and the 3 and the 4 and the 5 for 3. Then we're gonna get the 4, and then we're gonna get the 5, where I'm expecting prices to meet great support. Okay? You might ask, why do you expect prices to fall? I don't see a signal on the RSI, right? Neither do you. Well, usually what this means, guys, doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to see a fall or not. It means that there is no signal, which means markets are likely to remain on a sideways, trade on a sideways manner, right? And that looks a bit sideways to me, okay? The other scenario that I'm also looking closely is this. Okay, A, B, C, D, E. So we could go up and then down and then shoot. I don't like the symmetry of this triangle though. However, that's why it's not obviously the first scenario. It's not even the second, to be honest. The second is this, as I said before. We ended this as a flat. And now this is a continuation to the upside. Which means this is 1, 2. We've got a 3, a 4, and a 5. And that is wave 1. Then this is 1, 2, 3. And from there, we're going to shoot higher. Or this is W, X, and Y. And we're going to start moving higher from here. In neither case, guys, this is what I will be looking. Okay? And here's what you can do as well on your side. Draw a channel from there to there and all the way down, first of all. Okay, so you clearly see we've had a rejection here, which is some sort of bias to the bullish side. Only if we break below that level, then I will start considering that might be a 3 and we're going to get a 4 and a 5. But then again, only if we break below this one, okay? Otherwise, we still might be able to go there and shoot all the way up, because that could be 1 and 2, as we said before. What else you can do, guys, is take this channel over here and we're going to go the way up, right? Because someone could still turn around and say, dude, look, this is a leading diagonal, which I don't think is the case, okay? But just for the sake of the argument, you can assume wave 1 and wave 2 is done. So that's like 1 and 2, and we're going to go for 3, 4, and 5. That's going to be 3, then 4, and the 5. That's another upside opportunity here, right? But in that scenario, again, we need to remain above this median regression from this channel that you see over here, yeah? Because for now, it looks like we really consolidate in the sideways market, and it becomes more, how you call it, more thin, okay? So this is the other thing you can do. And of course, the other thing you can do is look at the shorter term. If we're going to look for a downside, yeah, we're going to go there and there. Again, look, another rejection over here. But in case we get a break over here, that's most likely going to be bringing us down here, guys. And if we meet these two channels at 80 cents, this is going to be an amazing opportunity should volumes start increasing at the same time, okay? Until then, this is all for ALGO. Okay, guys, I don't think there's anything else to mention here. I think the analysis gives you a lot of options here to consider, and, you know, look at how the markets move, of course, you know, look at what's happening and take action should you wish to do so based on these outcomes that we just projected, okay? Now, VET. I'll be honest, guys, there hasn't been much change. I mean, there's been change, obviously, in the prices, but not to what we talked about. Because we talked about this decline for a long time, guys. A lot of you argued as well, but there you go. So, similar view, yeah, but I'm a bit more bullish here because obviously we have a clear structure to the upside. And within that structure, because of this 5-wave move up here, which brings us near the channel, this is an extended wave 3, right? So I don't think we are done wave 3 here because we have just a wave 1 over here internally. You can understand every time we see 5 waves, guys, you need to consider that as one wave, 5 waves. So the moment I see 5 waves, that's my 1. Okay, someone could say, well, what about if that's 3 and that's 4? And then we ended up here for 5. Well, I don't think so, guys, because this is where, you know, it's not really where we see massive volumes coming up. Okay, you see, you get pretty much similar volumes to those both ends. Okay, which means to me we didn't see wave 3 yet, and most likely what is going to happen, okay, we're going to get an extended wave 5. But don't forget the extended wave 5 and why wave 5. Why? Because within this 5 we want to have the extended 3 with the big volumes. Okay, I hope that makes sense. And why then? But don't forget, guys, that for this, okay, our wave 5, yeah, internally cannot be bigger than wave 3. Okay, we're gonna have a quick look how much this, actually let's do it now, where this is gonna take us. Why do I say that though? It's simply because wave 1 is bigger than wave 3. Okay, so wave 1 is bigger than wave 3. I mean, at least it looks like it. Hold on, because we're in logarithmic charts. Let me check. No, how silly to think that. It's not. So let's forget about all of that. You see what happens when you forget that you're using the log scale. So the 3 and the 4 and the 5, still the likelihood of wave 5 of being equal to wave 3 is quite high in either case, because in cryptos, guys, you need to consider they are considered as commodities when we're looking at Elliott waves. So waves 3 and 5 can extend in the same wave. Very, very usual. This is what happens. Usually we've got even wave 5 only extended. But anyway, let's just leave the semantics away. 1 and 2 over here. Okay, again, we start from down, and you know, in order to identify the 4. But the 4 in this case is going to belong to an accelerating channel because we don't get 3. We just use 1 and 2 and the beginning of the previous correction, right? Why? Because our 3 has extended. One could say that 3 is here, but as I said before, it's not, because wave 1 here is very big, yeah? So I believe that is a fair correction over here to consider it as an internal wave 4 compared to wave 2 over here. And then we're going to get 3. And then after that 3, we'll be able to draw another accelerating channel over here and get our 4. And our 4 probably is going to be anywhere between these levels. Okay, it's too early to talk about getting the 3, but you get the idea. And that's what I want to do here today, and what I want to do always, give you the idea. Now look at this. Vechain. Hold on, am I down? Yes. 38.2. Right? 38.2. Look at this, guys. For the current structure, the 61.8 comes to 0.033. That does not make sense. This is a huge decline. It's possible because we're still above 1, but I don't think it's going to happen. And that's why I believe that minor wave 3, the yellow one, is not done yet. I believe that wave 3 is going to extend quite high, because I believe internally that wave 5 is going to be extended as well. Yeah, so that we get a normal relationship. We get a good relationship with the 68.2, you know, to be the 61.8, sorry, to be quite more respectable, because with 38 here, you know, we could get up to down to 50 or so, but you know, if we've got a wave 1 over here at 38, you can understand that wave 4 is going to be very deep, okay? But we need wave 3 yet. So now, as we're looking at this, yeah, at the internal structure, and we have also drawn a channel over here with the same method from 2 to 1 and starting from the low, and we get where wave 4 is. We've had another break, a false break over here, and to me it looks like we are going to end this correction fairly soon, okay? But I don't think it's going to be on this accelerating channel. I think it's going to be on the base channel. And why do I think that? Because the current structure shows me that this is a leading diagonal, which is we're going to get to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 3, then 4 and 5. We're going to use the Fibonacci to identify where exactly we could get, okay? But before we get there, I want you to see that we've also got a false break over here, right? These false breaks, guys, usually indicate that there's going to be acceleration in the next wave coming up, okay? Because the next wave coming up has to go from the low all the way up, breaking that level. So you can imagine that's going to be a good move, right? So for now, volumes are falling. And as long as volumes falling, I'm not really looking at buying opportunities over here. Now, while ago, weeks ago, maybe months ago, we talked about that reaching, I think it was at 22 cents or so. Well, we went a bit over 28 expected, and we looked at identifying corrections. The moment we got this level in, that was a clear ABC. For me, it was a W. Then we got this sort of thing in here. And again, for me, that's a next because it's corrective. And a lot of people were calling that we're going to move higher from here. Wrong. You guys need to understand structures to come with arguments, you know. Anyway, and then now, after we go to the 78.6, which somewhat validates that this is a W, X, and Y. And why? It's because W, X, and Y's, the wave X is usually quite deep. Okay, that is the reason. Now, over here, I went a bit with a scenario where this is going to be, it has a leading diagonal, obviously, but we've also got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've also got a, how you call it? We're going to get 3, 4, and 5. 4 is going to end above 1, which means I'm looking at an ending diagonal here. That's why you're going to see the labels, you know, here being A, B, C, and here being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because you like probably what's going on here. Well, that's an ending, I'm expecting an ending diagonal. That's why. Okay. Now, it could be a case where there is no ending diagonal, and it could be a case that this is ABC, that's an ABC here because you see a leading diagonal in here. Then you've got something like, you know, ABC, that's a W, X, and ABC, Y. That is going to be a case where, you know, we might not even correct to the previous low, but if that would be the case, then we're probably talking at ABC, then again, the ABC for the X, and then, you know, it would be like one, no, it cannot be the case actually because of this current structure, but I was thinking of a flat. But usually these flat patterns that have truncated wave Cs, okay. But yeah, in this scenario, with that being 1 and 2, then 3, 4, and I mean, yeah, 3 would have to be very short. So let's actually have a quick look at what we can expect for wave 3. So you can see, for me, I think 3 is going to be 61.8, 4 and 5 anywhere below the 61.8, okay? And I think 4 is going to cross above here as well. So the question now is this though. Hold on, because we might have made a mistake here. 1 is fine. Okay, good. Wave 3 is bigger than. So we've got the leading diagonal here, or it could be an A, as I said before, A, B, and a C, or 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It could be a case where this is either going to be an ending diagonal or not, okay? I'm looking at the current moment, I'm looking at the 0.1329. I mean, we're not really going to look at these small differences, but the first thing I'll be looking is to first come down to this channel, then perhaps we can correct up here and then have another leg down. Okay, it's not necessary that we go to the 61.8 in wave 3, but most likely when I get to that and to the previous low in wave 5. Now if we get an extended 3, that's going to be a bit of a different case. When we could extend down lower, we could go down to, well, this is a W, X and Y, so perhaps not down to the 1, we should consider the 78.6 first. Okay, so 0.11. But to be fair, guys, down here, should we start getting the volumes increasing as well at the same time? Because it's very important you understand volumes, and because we're on wave 4, that's going to shoot to the upside. It's going to give us a very nice wave. Okay, and this wave, for now at least, because we don't have wave 4 in again, best thing we can do is measure that distance and go all the way up. Yeah, where does that bring that? Brings us to around the 43 cents. Okay, before the 43 cents, you need to take into consideration the top of this channel, okay, which is over the 30 cents. But looks like that the moment we're going to get this correction done, a fresh high could be imminent. Okay, guys, so I want to thank you very much for watching, and in case you have any comments, go ahead and ask. Don't forget, again, and as always, none of this constitutes investment advice. Your own research is required, and should you have again the wish to have me analyze a coin for you, you can subscribe, turn notifications on, vote on the poll I post under the community, or otherwise you can feel free to contact me in the about section and we can arrange a private on-demand analysis for you. Okay, take care.